Luncheon. How is everybody feeling today? We got LJ in the house. Let them know, how's everybody feeling? I'm telling you, you are in for a big treat. Margie Shepherd, where are you?
I'm here.
What a great job you've been doing. She is here. Brought to us by enormous expense, I'll say. Margie, you've been doing such a great job and love you. Amazing group. As all of you know, Stirling Club Business Network, we're all about business networking and transferring leads and referrals, and we just celebrated our 7th-year anniversary last week, and I'm really privileged to have everybody here in the house. So since we have such a great speaker today, what I want to do is start out by going around the room and doing a 15-second introduction. Goes a little bit like this. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bruce Merrin. My company is Bruce Merrin Public Relations, and I always like to remind you that the first 2 letters in profit are PR. All right? Thank you. So let's go around the room. We're going to start with a living legendress, the queen of crossword puzzles, Gail Marie Beckman. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Gail Marie. I have a business called Custom Crosswords and More. So I write puzzles all about your friends and family or your products and services of your business. And you can entertain people while you educate them by puzzling them. So let me know if you want to puzzle someone today.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I'm Mark Gordon, the muscle relaxer your doctor should prescribe and the pain reliever you deserve. I work on those nagging aches and pains. And yes, that includes husbands and wives. Send them to me and I'll send them back relaxed. If you know somebody who stepped off the curb, has a little carpal tunnel problem or a little hitch in their giddy up, have them give Mark Gordon, the muscle relaxer, a call.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Zampino, and I own Type Monkey's Graphic Design and Marketing. I am primarily a graphic designer, but I also like to do commercial video, and my overarching tagline is evolve your brand. So if you've been sitting on your brand for maybe 5 or 10 or 15 years, you just want to kind of give it a little bit of a facelift, not radical surgery, then come over and give me a call. I'll show you some samples of my work.
I'm Dinah Eiley. The company I'm with is called Rodan Fields. We are a skincare company. We are the #1 skincare company in North America, and we did that in 8 years. We make you look better by making you grow younger every time you wash your face.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kimberly Smith, and I'm a real estate agent with King Realty Group. I've been selling real estate for 17 years. I'm a native Nevadan, so definitely know Vegas. Also, I'm with a company called Westpac Wealth Partners, and we work in the financial services area as well. Nice to meet you all.
Hi, my name is Alm Gaskos. We do private jets. If you're in the real estate business or any business and you bring a client here in a hurry, we meet and greet them in any place in the world and have them here in a day. Thank you.
Hello, longtime friends. My name is Joyce Arias. I'm a casino architect. I've done a lot of projects on the Strip, Las Vegas Sands and Cosmopolitan and Secret, where West Bay is having a major remodel right now. Anyway, I'm here as an animal advocate. Joyce Arias. My company is Urban Architecture and Design. Thank you.
I'm David Orlow, I'm Florida, and I was a do photo and video. Lately been working with Vicky will be here in a minute, the Coleman Group doing photography, and also with Imagine Now with Janet Franco.
Hello, my name is Tiffany Foote with My Little Helper, Las Vegas. I offer pet and errand services throughout the Summerlin area. Basically, just anything I can do for animals. We do a lot of charity events for animals and also help seniors take doctor appointments, pick up prescriptions, grocery shop, etc. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Yeah.
She promised me she was going to talk this week, so we are Team OJ Real Estate. We work by referral only, so it's different from a lot of agents. Since we work by referral only from friends and family like you and all my friends here, we have more time to help our clients find their dream home. Who here is already my real estate friends and family? Iris? Raise your hand. Who else? Who else? A lot of you, right? Yeah? Nearly everyone here. But if you want to be my real estate friends and family, please come up and see me at the end, and I'll take your name and number, and we'll do a great job for you. Right, Yushini? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Victoria, and I'm your events photographer about town. So what I always say is, an event without photos is as if it never happened at all. So you need pictures, all right? And when I grow up, I want to be like Margie Shepherd. Isn't she gorgeous? No, we know.
Victoria's Secret.
Yes.
I'm used to this, I'm used to being behind the scenes, but my name is Lynn Kucha, and I'm Director of Talent for Vegas Live in Medina. Anybody wants to come on the show every Tuesday from 1 to 3, you're more than happy to.
Hello, my name is Keith Kramer. I'm an actor and model here in Las Vegas. Transplanted from Minneapolis 6 years ago, and great in the action field. Anybody who needs a commercial done and wants a model too, I'm here for you.
Okay, hi, my name is Jim Johnson. Anyway, I'm the distributor for XP3. It's a gasoline and diesel fuel additive guaranteed to increase the life of your engine, make it run longer and smoother. If you want more information, see Margie.
Hi, I'm Margie Shepherd, and I'm Vice President here at the Stirling Club Business Networking Group. I'm also Vice President with Bruce Merrin, Celebrity Speakers Bureau, and his PR firm that we also do the advertising. It is such a pleasure to be here. I'm also, before doing all of this, I was a speaker, and I still am a speaker on a professional level on a very high platform. Today, yes, we're going to give a plug because I also model still at 71, and my outfit is designed by Jewel right here. Yeah. So, nonetheless, we have a phenomenal guest today. We're going to talk about that momentarily. But right now, thanks so much for being here, and here's our next friend.
Good morning, I'm Ron Cooper. My company is Ron's Lifestyle. Everyone sitting at the table here has DNA that they got from their parents. Unfortunately, we get genetic weaknesses, and those weaknesses can't be addressed today through technology. Your DNA is analyzed, and a specific nutritional program is put together just that targets your weaknesses. And it's a simple test. I'm Ron Cooper with Ron's Lifestyle.
Good morning, my name is Lori Dixie. I'm with eXp Realty. Hear ye, all you kings and queens of the land. We do have a nice game tonight, but if you need your real estate, your castle, sold or bought, please see me about your real estate needs. My name's Lori, and I'm your realtor with a heart.
I'm Jewel Bailey, and what an honor that I get to design something for this body. Wow. I own a company by the name of Blingo by Jewel, and we want to bling all of you. It's really important. You guys get your ties done. We work a lot with the entertainment groups here in the city. We do a lot of jackets, ties, boots, shoes, and for all of you ladies that just like a little sparkle, call on us. So, and also I'm a manager for a gentleman here in town, and most of you will know him by the name of T. Fox. He is performing at the Red Palms Mediterranean Restaurant on Las Vegas Boulevard on Friday night. If you've not seen his show, it is free. It is amazing. The food is wonderful. It's a Mediterranean and an Italian restaurant. Again, the show is free. It's just whatever you would like to order to eat. That's all you will pay for. Thanks for having me, and I bless you all.
Hello, my name is Amy Kucha. Kardashian, not Kardashian.
Thank God.
Okay, let me see, I wear so many hats. I'm an author, keynote speaker, producer, director of several television shows on 31.1, Armount TV. And I have my own television show also. It's about empowering humanity through education. Wow. And also I speak about how to negotiate with your own negotiator mind. So that's what I teach. I do seminars, webinars, and I have online classes, etc. So I do wear so many hats, not like the Kardashians. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Iris Ayers. I'm with Iris Entertainment. We work with this lovely lady over here.
Turn it up.
Marilyn,
Can you turn it up?
Margie. I thought my mouth was big enough. Okay. And I'm also the ambassador for ovarian cancer, which I have been fighting for the past 5 years. And on April 27th, I would love to join you, if you could join me for the Relay of Life for the American Cancer Society. It will be at the Rio, and you can contact me for all different information and details. And also, I'm putting together an afternoon tea for cancer. Thank you, and it's a pleasure meeting everyone.
Hello everyone, Marilyn O'Leary here. I'm a professional singer. I specialize in the national anthem, although I'm trained in many different styles, types of music. And I'm proud to say I'm now managed by Margie Shepherd, and also in cooperation with Iris. Thank you.
This one, this table right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
She can skip this.
Yeah.
More realtors. As you guessed, I'm also a realtor. I've been a realtor 29 years. I do land, commercial, and residential. I'm with Realty One Group. And prior to that, I was in show business. No business like show business.
Hi, Shana Wilgar, also a realtor for 17 years, born and raised in Las Vegas, and Barbara's daughter.
I'm going to break it up here. I'm a broker of real estate. And I have a slogan called "Taking the Flip Out of Real Estate," where we empower the seller to be the flipper. And my last seller made over $40,000 more than if they had wholesaled the house. So again, Lene with Forbes Realty Group, broker and owner.
My name is John Moran. I think that's familiar with a lot of people. It's for the previous sheriff, but I'm not attached to them, but I think it's helped me not get a ticket. So, in that respect, it's favorable. While I am a real estate broker, it's California, so I don't threaten anybody up here in closing transactions. Predominantly now I'm in the oil and gas business. I've been an author, prognosticator of things that will happen accurately in events. So I'll leave it at that. I thank you for the ability to communicate.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Feli Kiteris. I am also a broker owner of Precious Properties. It seems that there's a lot of realtors out here. I specialize in Parham, Nevada. So, fellow realtors, if you don't want to travel to Nevada, just refer them to me. I also specialize at Thornberry Place. We live at Tower 2. And I thought the event will be at the Stirling Club. So we keep pounding the door on the Stirling Club. I'm glad that we were early.
We're going to be back there very soon.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Nice to meet you. This is my first time. I'm glad to be here.
I'm an old guy. It takes me a long time to get up. Someone asked me the other day how old I was, and I said I'm 52 and a half. And I put a $100 bill, and he said, "You can't be that old." I put a $100 bill in front of him. I said, "What's half of 52? Took out a calculator, which most people do. I didn't do it. We didn't have calculators when I was a kid. Took out his calculator, started counting on his fingers, and he said, "Half of 52 is 26. I said, "Now add that half to 52, what do you get?" He said, 78. Now, I put a $100 bill on the table that I'm right, 52 and a half. And he told me he was going to get 100. But he put up 100 and I got his. Anyway, I went in the military at 17, got my real estate license shortly after that, and I got my stockbroker license in my mid-20s. Been on the stock exchange many times, and everything on earth is stocks and stock related. Also, everything on earth is real estate or real estate related. If you have money in a bank is on real estate, but it's a corporation which is a company. So if you get that picture, money is never a problem. I completely retired when I was 37. God's been good to me. And I never inherited one penny. The true test, I'm going to share two things with you. I hope we can all hang on to it. And I know I got to run quick. The true test of a person's knowledge and ambition is their wealth as they go through life. I don't mean chase money, and I don't mean it's everything, but that's the true test. Because it dominates, it does not accumulate wealth. Now I have another quick one. If you're in sales and want to be a scholar, don't stick your head in the well, climb a tree and holler!
Did we get everybody? We got everybody.
Yeah, we got everybody.
All right. Ladies and germs, we're done. That is great. Oh, sorry. One thing about, you were talking about being old. I'm so old I forgot what I ate for breakfast, right? Yeah. There we go. Okay, we were just talking earlier about the Kardashians, so one quick thing. I lived in Calabasas for 24 years. Beautiful home in Calabasas. Now when I tell people that I live in Calabasas, they say, oh, the Kardashians and Bieber and Britney Spears, so Calabasas has a whole new meaning now, which is wild. All right, so I want to bring up the Vice President of the Stirling Club, Margie Shepard.
Welcome, everybody. We have just got a phenomenal man here in the house, LJ Harness. But before we get to LJ, I do want to bring some points of interest out. We have some definite individuals today that I just would like to highlight just a little bit and say thank you a million times over. Lynn Krusha for being my assistant. Keith Kramer, Jules for your design, incredible. Iris Ayers is the queen of EKs. If you're looking for one, contact Iris Ayers. Marilyn Faye O'Leary, your dedication as my client. And of course, #1 realtor to go to, Yvette, RJ, and Lil Eugenie. It's the youngest one of all, and believe you me, her signature means the world to me on those contracts. And of course, our biggest secret of all, Victoria, and for all of the care of the animals, Gail Marie Beckman, your crossword puzzles, and Mark, the two of you, every single solitary time. When you're coming to the Stirling Club Business Network, you know, it's just as important as anything else you do. So I want you to mark your calendar for March 6th, because we're coming on back and we're going to have an incredible show at that time. So mark it down, all right? Okay, Bruce Merrin, the best of the best. What can I say? I'm so honored, honestly, and the journey to learn and to help one and all. So if you're looking for a speaker, contact me. I'll get you one that you want, if you don't want me. But also, if you need a campaign, be sure to reach out to me, because we can put together the very best PR packaging possible. You won't find anyone finer, and you'll be working with me as well as Bruce Merrin and our other collaborating team. So now, man of the hour. This gentleman is world renowned. He's referred to as the Cadillac drummer. He's played with some of the biggest names in the industry. But I think the biggest thing that he's known for throughout Vegas and really throughout the world is his heart for the community. He's one of the biggest fundraisers Las Vegas has ever had or ever will see. Right now, get ready, put your hands together for the man of the hour, LJ Harness. Come on, guys.
Kind of made me tear up a little bit there. That's very kind to you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, I normally don't go to mixers that often, One of my first ones I went to was a lady by the name of Yvette. I walked in here today and I see Marilyn, I see Yvette, I see people that I've met through my 10 years being out here. I didn't even want to come to Vegas. I hated the first month in Vegas. I went back to Florida. But that's part of my story. But I guess how I start when I'm asked to introduce a show I'm producing. I still get to perform, but I usually say, Las Vegas, how you doing? But today I'm going to say, Las Vegas Stirling Club, how the hell are you? In the introductions from everybody, I like that. All of you, I know I can be myself. You know, when Cadillac hired me, moved me out here. Pretty much, if you're going to get LJ, you're going to get the whole package of LJ. All right? So, what I'm going to ask everybody to do right now, everybody stand, please. Because, like I said, I don't go to some of these business luncheons because I'm busy or whatever. And they're kind of, I'll be honest with you, they're boring to me. But then when I got the invitation and I checked out who this Margie was and Bruce, I thought, I want to come to this one. So, I'm just going to shut up for a minute and just follow me, okay? Just follow me. I'm going to ask y'all to get a beat going with me because I couldn't bring my 19-piece drum set. Okay? So, with your right foot and with your hands, just kind of follow this and you're going to keep it going. So it's going to be. Now keep it going. Please. You just are pretty looking, you got rhythm also, but keep it going. Can anybody name this tune yet? We will rock you, yep. To it. Take your seat, everybody. People ask me why I wear gloves. I've been doing it since, well, I started playing drums 67 years ago. 57 years ago, sorry. I just turned 67 last Saturday, by the grace of God. 1952. That's right, I'm an Aquarius. It is the dawning of the age. That's right. But thank you all for coming out here supporting this great networking. But I'm just going to try to hit the bullet points because, again, 16 years representing Cadillac, being a drummer, 57 years. Raised in a little farm town in the Midwest, Indiana, by my grandparents and my parents. Just share this, that in first grade I got something called rheumatic fever and St. Vitus days that attacks your nervous system. My full left side of my body shook. I missed the last half of first grade, the first half of second grade. And that's when you learn how to learn, right? Adding, subtracting, spelling, all of that. I missed all that. I really did. And all the way through school, I never read one book. I'm talking all the way through my senior year. So I'm telling on myself. The farm school I went to, the teachers were friends of my grandparents. They always took me under their wing. And the reason I say the word wing, in the 4th grade, the spelling bees used to terrify me because I didn't know how to spell. And the teacher gave me the easiest word in front of the whole class, and the word was wing. And I had no idea how to spell wing. I was always thinking I was not smart, that I couldn't learn. But as a youngster, because my left hand shook for about 4 or 5 years, I used to pull my hair out. Very high. There's labels to everything these kids have nowadays. Back then, we didn't know what we had lots of times. And I was almost bald in the 4th grade for pulling my hair out. But my mother got me a pair of drumsticks. And the doctor thought it was a good idea just to hang on to something, that'd fall out of my hand. But what happened was, growing up with my grandparents, you watch what your grandparents watched when it was black and white TV in the 50s, early 60s. And you can remember these days. I know you can. But it was Ed Sullivan, Perry Como, Lawrence Welk, many shows. And I was just hypnotized by any type of entertainment. Any type, I don't care what it was, I was just hypnotized by it. And then in 1964, and just last week, I believe it was the 50th or 55th anniversary of the Beatles being introduced on Ed Sullivan. Who remembers that? And Tiffany and I, dear friends, by the way, my fiance Tiffany, thank you for taking time out of your day. There's a whole story there too. But anyway, does anybody remember who opened up the act before the Beatles that night, in 1964? Who said that? That's right, Marty Allen, Steve Rossi. When Tiffany and I moved here not knowing each other, but we both ran into Allen and Rossi. They became very dear friends. They took us both under our wings because we were transplants out here. And I can say that both of those gentlemen were in my Toys for Tots shows that I produce each year. Because, wow, to meet these great entertainers that I grew up with when I came out here. But anyway, after that night of the Beatles in '64, my grandparents got my first drum. The next day it had to be Ludwig because Ringo used Ludwig. I taught myself to play to a 45-speed record player. I started playing in rock bands in the 5th grade. I was in the school band from the 5th grade through my first year at Ball State University. I was always second chair drummer. Any musicians out there, anybody in school band or choir growing up, there's first chair, second chair. I was always second chair because I couldn't read music. But as soon as I heard it, I could copy it and run circles around the other drummers. I ended up touring through junior high and high school, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan. My first concert was 10,000 people up in Bay City, Michigan, opening up for a guy named B.J. Thomas. Remember? Raindrops keep falling on your head, hooked on a feeling. And I remember that was the last time I was ever nervous or scared going on stage. And I had a black front man that taught me to be an entertainer, just not a drummer. What came out of that was I did graduate barely, and then I had an opportunity to move to Florida in '74 with my lead singer. We starved for the first 9 months. Make a long story short, our band ended up touring all over North America. I've been all over the place. I had the opportunity to drum for Joe Cocker when I was 19. For anyone who remembers Joe Cocker, John Kay and Steppenwolf in the early '70s, Eric Burden of the Animals. So I got such great mentoring back then, and then started my own band, and pretty much that was my career. And what was cool, I was still safe because I didn't have to read, I didn't have to use a checking account. I could just be a drummer. And I went all the way through my mid-40s doing that. I was the straightest kid in rock and roll. people used to make fun of me because I never smoked marijuana, didn't try LSD in the 60s or the 70s. I tried a little pot in the late 70s, went through some personal heartbreaks in the early 80s. Cocaine was all over the place in the 80s. I wasn't part of that, but when I went through some devastation, I started hanging out, doing cocaine, ended up leaving the music business, went back to Indiana, ended up homeless on the streets. Of course, homeless is just not on the streets, but it's living in a car, living in a van, living in somebody's front, on their couch. Went through a lot of rehabs. I don't remember how many I went through because it was never for the right reason. 4 months in my hometown county jail saved my life 21 years ago. By the grace of God, I'm telling you. But as you hear what I'm saying, it saved my life. I started to figure out, quit being the victim. Quit playing the victim. Okay? I was rock bottom, yes. Big long story short, the judge let me out because I started going to AA, NA, CA, AAA. I was going to all the A's. And he gave me 24 hours to find a rehab. I didn't have a job, I didn't have insurance, but I had 4 months of sobriety. I found a rehab down in Florida on a Greyhound bus, 36 hours. Stopped in every damn Mayberry town there was between Indianapolis and Fort Lauderdale, but I'd get off, use the restroom, get a hot dog, get back on. Because I wanted it this time. 3 months in a spiritual-based recovery program. I graduated. The pastor took me the next day. He says, put on your best. Now, I had shoulder length hair still, more of it than a different color back then. I got a suit and a tie because this rehab facility was a 40-acre ranch, like the Salvation Army. They had a fleet of trucks that go out, pick up the donations of appliances, clothing, furniture, refurbish it, and I was able to pick out a suit. Now, this was no gates, no bars, no locks. If you didn't want to be at this rehab, and by the way, it was called Faith Farm.
Yes.
160 guys, doctors, lawyers, construction workers, factory workers, addiction. Didn't care what you do for a living. And we're all there for the same reasons. It was really cool. So leading up to where I'm at today is, the day I graduated, the pastor took me into Fort Lauderdale, and he said, where are you taking me? He goes, you're one hell of a salesman. I said, what do you mean? I've never sold. He says, you've been an entertainer all your life. You've been selling all your life. Okay. Takes me into Fort Lauderdale, Rolls-Royce, Lincoln, Mercury. I met the general manager. Talk about sharp. Armani, perfect hair, French cuffs, suspenders with a matching tie. Takes me in his office, closed the door, and I'm looking at all the trophies, all the medals, all the plaques, all the celebrities. And he says, tell me about yourself. And I look at him, I say, you know, I'm a little cocky. I got 4 months of sobriety, almost 5 months now. And I said, I'm LJ Harness. No, I said, I'm LJ Hollywood Harness. That was my nickname in rock and roll. What are you laughing at? I said, I'm born-again Christian, grateful, recovering addict, and been a drummer all my life. The guy looked at me, it seemed like 10 minutes went by, it was probably 10 seconds. He grinned, he looked over his shoulder, and I realized now he was making sure his office door was closed. He said his name was Rip Tiger Pace, he had a nickname. Grateful, recovering addict of 9 years. He'd been a bass player all his life. Long story short, the same director pastor took him there to get a sales job 9 years before that. He ended up the general manager of the only certified Rolls dealership, Fort Lauderdale, the oldest Lincoln dealership. He said, you know, LJ, I think you're going to do good here. I'm just going to polish the rough edges off. I stayed there 2.5 years, ended up their top salesman. I moved over to the west coast of Florida, started with Cadillac as a salesman. Any new salespeople, they're called green peas. A big dealership will hire maybe 20 salesmen. They go through a class. They give you business cards with the name of the company, but not your name. It's blank. Because they figure only 3 out of 20 will make it through 30 days. I was one of them. They go out and prospect. What the hell's prospecting? Right? I go out to your neighborhood, your dry cleaners, your gas station, your grocery store, what have you. And So I just started taking it to another level because as an entertainer, I understood, finally, I got a degree in something. When you're dealing with AM radio DJs, then it was FM rock stations, club owners, concert promoters, record companies, agents, managers. My lead singer and I, we treated it as a business. We all had sports cars, we had condos. We were living the dream. So now here I am selling cars that tell me, get out there and sell Cadillacs. Right away I got familiar with the local air personalities on the radio stations, the anchors on the local network affiliates. I met the Veterans Organization. I'm very passionate about animals, no-kill shelters, abused women and children. I started doing this in Florida 16 years ago, and they didn't pay me. But what I saw was, and I learned this through my grandparents and my parents, great mentoring. When Vietnam was going on, when the soldiers were coming back, they weren't very well respected. My grandfather, when some of the guys that were older than me came back, he made sure he found them a job. I remember him giving $100 probably 5 or 6 times to these soldiers coming back in 1968, 69, which was like $1,000 for a down payment on a car. When someone would die in the community, my grandmother, who was part of the Methodist Church, and the choir director, all the ladies would get together and they would cook, right? And go help the family. When a new family came in town, my grandfather, that owned 5 small-town grocery stores from the 1920s to the 60s, he would send my ass out on my bicycle with a box of groceries to welcome the people. Wow. So this is how I was raised. Wow. So fast forward now, also as an entertainer, and for the people said they've been an entertainer, you know how you're approached by organizations or a family asking for some help to help raise awareness to something. I like to take a great idea that we have and make it real freaking big. And that's my formula in the success with Cadillac. You take the name Cadillac, bring them in the back door to sponsor something. You get a reputable local charity that needs their help. I do my homework, by the way. My pet peeve is an organization or somebody that's so-called raising money for something and it doesn't go where it's supposed to go. Okay? I just had to pull away from an organization here in town. Well, I pulled away 3 years ago. I won't get into who it is or what it is, but you know, if it walks like a duck, we know the rest of it. So I can assure you, when LJ is involved representing Cadillac, if I'm asking you to get involved in something, especially veterans organizations, the money's going to go. The tangible donations are going to go where they go. What's so cool is when I did come out here 10 years ago and I said I didn't want to be here, I didn't know one entertainer, I didn't know one person, and I had to pray and calm my ass down. I've done the Marine Corps Toys for Tots toy drive for 20-some years. When I started with Cadillac 16 years ago in Florida, yeah, you do the big toy drive. That's great. Now I'm out here in the entertainment capital of the world. How can I take this idea and make it bigger? I begged for $500 10 years ago from my general manager. And he gave me a hard time about it. I went down and found a place, the Hard Rock on the Strip, next to the big Coca-Cola sign. It had just opened. Going through 3 floors to find this live performance floor. As for a general manager, I waited 20 minutes. The janitor told me I wasn't supposed to be up there. I said, I know. I'm just getting ready to leave. The elevator opens, this big guy walks out. Now again, remember, I prayed to give me guidance and wisdom when I left my Cadillac dealership that afternoon. I've been here 3 months. This big guy gets off the elevator, he goes, you looking for the manager? I go, yes. He goes, you're supposed to be up here. I said, yeah, I know, I was already told that. I was nervous now. I introduced myself, I'm LJ from Cadillac. He interrupted me. He goes, I'm really busy. No disrespect, but get to your point. I said, I want to put on a Marine Corps Toys for Tots Las Vegas show. And he just stood at me, he put his hand out, he goes, I'm a Marine. Oh, wow. Dude, see how your face? Right on. He goes, so what music are you going to have? What bands? I said, I don't know any. He goes, every rock band locally wants to say they played the hard rock. I'll take care of the entertainment. I gave him my check for $500. By the way, my mother, who never has given up on me, sent me a check for $500 to match Cadillac that first year. Make a long story short, we raised $22,000 for the local Marine riders of Las Vegas 2 years ago. And anytime you hear LJ say I'm not taking the credit. I'm maybe the spearhead in something, but it's through relationships, networking, and that's what you are all here for. That's what we do. I'm still here to learn from you all, you know, because we all have our wisdom. You know, the world is our stage. It is. It is. I don't care what line of work you're in. My grandfather also taught me, wherever you work, take ownership. Take ownership in it. When I walk into my Cadillac dealership and there's some trash or an empty Coke can, I have a choice. Yeah, there's guys that do that for a living at our dealership. But we got 2 ladies, Hispanic, that are both legal, by the way. I'm just saying. But they go around all day long cleaning. Our Finley Cadillac is the Bellagio dealership, 4-story dealership. But for a long time, you do the next right thing in life. And once I got past the obsession to where I wasn't controlled all the time by addiction, I had a choice to start working on myself. My defects, my baggage, my insecurities. And it's cool to this day. Something will go off in my head. I see something in somebody else and it reminds me of me somewhere in my life. You know, and along with that, talking about the ladies that clean our dealership, my detail guys, the guys with grease all over their hands, working on the engines, I stop and say hi to them every day, throughout the day, because they're the ones that make me look like a rock star with Cadillac. And you never know what somebody's going through in a day. My general manager, John Saxon, God bless his heart, you know, a big heart, a big passion. But you know, those other guys and ladies I just talked about, they're more important than my general manager. If he was sitting here, I'd tell him that too. And he understands that. So it also, when you wake up in the morning, and I get up and it pisses Tiffany off, I get up every morning around 4:30 in the morning, even on Sundays. I'm still that hyper little kid, you know, but my mind starts. The first thing I do is go out and I meditate, I pray, and I get myself lit up on fire every day. Every day, because I've got my health, I've got a great relationship, and having the opportunity to live my passion at my age. A company pays me to go do what I want to do. It's amazing, but I will tell you this, with the relationships I have been able to bring to the forefront in this city, outside of Vegas, we're known as Sin City. We're known for this and that, but the people that live here, and you're born and raised here, you're that one. Mm-hmm. You get it. All of you get it. I've been on probably over 100 times in 10 years on Wake Up with the Writers, Fox More, 8 News Now, The Morning Blend, all the radio shows, and I was doing this before Cadillac was giving me money to go on. But it was through a relationship. So when a general manager gives you an organization a check, that's easy. But where's the return on investment? And that's what I explained to him. No, you go and get involved in that event, that charity. You meet this guy, right? What else can I do to help this charity? I mean, my days off, my Sundays, that's when a lot of events are. But guess what? I signed up for this. And what comes back is, I mean, you know, people come up and they'll thank me and this and that, and I just look at it and I'm thinking, thank you, Lord, that I can be here to do this. Because as an addict, I was the taker. I was selfish. I was self-centered. It was, what can I get for me with this? And I believe I'll always be in recovery. Fox News asked me 5 years ago. I got together with the Veterans Forgotten Promise radio show. I heard that, I listen to AM radio a lot because I love sports. I love listening to the left, to the right, more to the right, but anyway. But I stumbled over a veterans radio show, 2 disabled veterans here in town 7 years ago. At 6 o'clock on a Saturday night, they have a half-hour show Disabled veterans helping disabled veterans. It really touched my heart. I called in, I met with them, and they were struggling to keep the show on. It only cost them $500 a month. So I started reaching in my pocket. Now I'll say I, because I wanted to help them, and that's part of my group. There's something I can do that's just not about me. And what came out of that, after 7 years, it's still on the air. Now it's on at 12 noon on KDON every Saturday. They have so many sponsors. Cadillac found out. They give me money to keep this radio show on. 2 years ago, they opened up and cut the tape to the Clark County Veterans Transitional Center, which I'm so proud of, because it's just not the veteran that's going through a tough time. It's the wives, it's the children. Am I right? Okay? And also what this does, if a veteran's having legal issues, if they're having addiction issues, trying to get their benefits. That's what this organization does. So that's probably one of my most proudest things that I'm involved in. Now, let's talk about Cadillac. When I was growing up, if Lincoln or Cadillac, if you had a Lincoln or Cadillac, that was a statement. That was success. Going with my grandparents to Sears and Roebuck. Yep. Who remembers the Roebuck part? Yeah. I was 8 years old. We go downtown in Muncie, Indiana. My grandmother, big heart, but a tough Jewish lady. Okay? I'm not sure what part of me is Jewish. I'm a little bit of everything, but we're going in here to buy a washer and dryer. I'm one of those kids who was always proud to be with my grandparents and parents. Okay? I mean, anything when someone thanks me for something, I thank God, yes, but I thank my upbringing, being a farm boy in Indiana, all that. But we were there an hour and a half, and it's like it was yesterday. Older salesman with the name tag with all the awards. He gave so many people their start back in the day. He was the MC that day, and we used to run into each other at the animal rescue. He said, "LJ, how you doing? Where's my Cadillac?" Okay, so I'm off stage, getting ready to come out, and I'm thinking, how's he going to introduce me today? And he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, this next young man that's coming out on stage, that is, if we can get him to come out, he's very backwards, he's very shy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cadillac drummers." As I'm walking out there, I go, "God damn, that is a cool tag. I'm going to hang on to that." Because that's saying that I'm maybe just not an average drummer, I'm something above that. And what goes into being a drummer, you got to remember something. My job is like a baseball captain at third base. I'm giving the bunt signal. I'm tapping my elbow to the rest of the band. I was a front man behind the drums, even though I had a great lead singer. When you're playing 6-7 nights a week, yeah, and we have a lot of people come out 3 or 4 times a week. You got to change up the set list, right? Okay, no, we're going to change. Okay, we're going to slow it down here. My keyboard player, we're in the middle of a song. I'm giving him a signal like this while I'm still drumming. Now, as a drummer also, I'm twirling the sticks. I'm kicking ass on the drums. I'm wiping my brow, and I'm flirting with her. Okay? So, multitasking. But what I was realizing as a drummer, I'm not dumb, I'm not stupid. Even though I hadn't started to really learn how to learn. I forgot to tell you where I really started to volunteer to read. My sponsor told me, stand up in a meeting and volunteer to read the daily word. If anyone knows what that means in a meeting, it's a motivation, it's inspirational. And I'd stand up, telling on myself and stumbling on words in front of this group of recovering people. But what I realized was there were people that would actually help me sound out a word. So that embarrassment started to fade away. And it gave me just a little more confidence that, I can take this on. And with Cadillac, when I started with them, there wasn't even calculators out there. And there sure the hell wasn't this thing called a computer. 6 years in Florida, and then I come out here, all of a sudden, damn it, they got a computer. Oh no, now what am I going to do? I had to teach myself. And an Asian American that was selling cars at Cadillac of Las Vegas, they had me share an office with him. And that guy took time with me and taught me how to even turn a computer on, how to get this to this to this. And it was just within a short period of time after that, I met a lady, and we were just friends for a couple of years through her family. And what came out of this was a 7-year relationship I've had with Tiffany, my fiance. Now, this is a lady, and we all have a story, but I know I'm not a victim. As Joel Osteen says, be a victor, not a victim. You can be one no away from a yes in sales, right? How many no's do we get? I just got to spin it real quick, go at it a different way. Because when I'm walking into my general manager, I've got a great idea. I've got an organization. He goes, no, our budget doesn't have it and this and that, but I got to come up with something else. And by golly, I don't get a no anymore. I don't allow a no. I don't. Well, from Tiffany, I get a no. But I'll tell you, Tiffany, this lady, because now, oh shit, now there's social media. I was one of the last ones to turn in my flip phone. I'm that guy. Okay, I mean, I was with you.
I redoing them.
Okay? Yeah. So, but Tiffany helped me learn how to get on a phone and start to post things. Cross-marketing, the Cadillac dealership, my performances, the charities. And now, I'm like one of these damn 11-year-old kids. But I see the importance of it. I'm proud to say I have about 3,000 followers. Tiffany's got at least that, if not more. I have been able to get Finley Cadillac, along with a lot of my family there, out of 934 Cadillac dealerships in North America. Today, we're number 13. When you think Cadillac, think Finley Cadillac. How many have heard that slogan when John Saxon does the commercial? Yep. I gave him that idea. Because as a musician and writing songs, I was an arranger. But when you're writing songs for record companies, there's something called a hook. When you hear a song for the first time, and you're starting to tap your foot, you hear it the next time, you're kind of humming it. And then the third time, the chorus, you're actually singing it. That's called a hook. Now, there's a million commercials on TV in the morning when I'm shaving and this and that. And remember, if you don't buy here, you can't stay here. I'll do anything to sell you a car. Actually, it's okay. But I represent Cadillac. And when I went to my general manager, who's very shy, he's very gay, he's got a heart of gold. I was a thorn in his ass because I was his competitor at Cadillac of Las Vegas for 8 years on West Sahara. That used to be owned by the Cashman family. You want to remember the Cashmans? Yep. That's why I went to work there, because of his family. But then it got bought by a corporation. Do I need to tell you what happens to a family business? Yep. When a corporate company comes in, they don't care about you. It's about the bottom line. 7 general managers, in 8 years I left. Finally, but I met my competition within a month of being here at the Four Seasons at a Cadillac seminar. And that's another thing that was bestowed by my family. Always make friends with your competitors. You never know. Yep. Right? So I run into this general manager at Finley Cadillac quite often. And he goes, yeah, I saw you on TV promoting Cadillac Las Vegas in the charity and this and that. And things started really kicking up. So he offered me the job 6 years ago, but I was loyal to a fault. Loyal to a fault. I was that way all my life because I was very insecure. I stayed in relationships I shouldn't have stayed in. I was either the unhealthy one or they were the unhealthy one, but I thought I could always fix everything. Guess what? I can only fix LJ. And that's what I've learned. So the opportunity finally to join the Finley Auto Group going on 3 years ago, what I thought was marketing, promotions, community involvement, that I've gone 20 times over that. Every day I'm out of the dealership more than I'm in. They give me a company car. When I started there, they said, write down what you want. I'm going, really? First thing I wrote down was, will you just buy into why I'm here? Seriously, why you're hiring me? I'm here to help everybody here sell cars. I sell my portion of cars each month. I don't go stand out there like the salesman does in the car business. There's nothing any more depressing. When it's 112 degrees, it's blowing, and I eat like hell because my hair messed up. And okay, and then, oh God, here come these people just pulled up. They can't buy. Oh, Jesus. They're the ones that are writing a check or paying cash. So we've all learned, don't judge a book by its cover. But I guess where I'm at today is from 10 years ago making for $500 for the Marine Corps and raising $22,000. This last December was the 10th annual Las Vegas Marine Corps Toys for Tots show, sponsored by Finley Cadillac. Cadillac wrote me a check for $34,000 to produce the show. We raised over $300,000 in new and wrapped toys, checks, cash in 4.5 weeks. And the clincher is, I used the Marine Riders 501c3. The slogan is, what's donated in Vegas? No, I said, what's donated in Vegas stays in Vegas. I'm so proud of that. When I came out at the end of the night with Tiffany, by the way, Tiffany's the co-producer of the show for the last 7 years. This lady has taught me how to run a dishwasher. I'm getting really good at the laundry. After she went through, and she is a cancer survivor of over 4 years, ladies and gentlemen. She called me up one day at work and said, I'm done with corporate. I go, what? I'm starting my own business. I said, honey, whatever you want. She did, because she's very passionate about animals and seniors. And as I tell people, explain that, thank God, because I'm a little bit of both. It's amazing. There's always going to be animals, and there's always going to be seniors. You know, I just started getting Social Security 7 months ago. I waited until I was 66 and a half, so I can still make as much as I want. But I have realized, seeing how this woman can start with nothing, she didn't know anybody here either. And how successful she is within a 15-minute radius of seeing a country club where we live. When I see what she does for seniors, I'm like, God, she makes sure, she'll take them to the airport, she'll park and make sure they get into the right terminal. If you have your babies, your four-legged furry friends, and no one's going to treat them like you, right? No one's going to take care of my babies. That really has so much to do with how you take vacations. We either take the dogs or we aren't going, honey. She films videos of your babies while you're on vacation and sending you pictures. Your little chihuahua is diabetic. She gives insulin shots to them. Dogs are like humans. They got to be cared for. They have heart disease. They're diabetic. Mixing the right medicines in with it. That's what that lady does. And see, I keep learning from her because I'll tell you, I always had women doing everything for me. Believe it or not, as cute and young and smart as this lady is, she is smart enough to realize if she's going to have me in her life, I'm going to have to get off my ass. And I'll tell you, I feel better about myself. I do. And I'll kind of finish with this. I remember the first night I slept over at Tiffany's. And we talked. She's got 3 rescue dogs. And she told me later on that she was nervous about having me come over and spend the night. Because, oh my God, I really like this guy and he likes me, but he sees I got 3 dogs. No, the dogs were fine when I got there. Okay, now it's time to go to bed. Got focused. We get in bed. All of a sudden there's this, she picks up this little 3-pound teacup, Pomeranian named Bear. Got time, I like that. And she picks it up, okay. No, it plops his little butt right between us on the pillow. And I'm thinking, and I said, well, this ain't gonna happen, is it? And Tiffany wants to tell y'all, what is it you tell people, Tiffany?
What you
said was, it get worse. And I thought, well, one of them's going, it's sure not the dog.
What she says is that one of them's going, it's not the dogs. But to make a long story short, that little bear had me wrapped around his paw. When Daddy, I've never had kids. And Tiffany's taught me what unconditional love is in a lot of ways just between us. But with the animals, oh my God. You know, when Daddy comes home at night, they're there, they're ready to see me. They sleep in bed with us. You know, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm freezing my ass off this morning. I'm walking dogs. But guess what? I'm proud of it. I love it, you know. So here I am. One of the best gifts I have at 67 years old is my relationships. I love meeting new people. I have new friends here today. I have no fear in my life today. That is a gift from God. When you've been an addict, a using addict all your life, you live a life of fear. You don't worry about getting busted and arrested. You're worried about back in the day, is that beaver number going to call me back? Okay? Where am I going to get money to pay the rent? Oh my God, are they going to turn electricity off? Did I buy from an undercover agent? I don't have any of that anymore. It's amazing when you're doing the next right thing that you learned in kindergarten, the golden rule. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't litter. And that's pretty much my story, but what's really cool is, just in the 10 years with the Marine Corps, we've raised over $2.5 million with this little idea I had. And it came, again, from my family. It came from God. My first musician I met out here was a guy named Zoe Bowie. What a freaking name is that? He had me, I didn't bring my drums out here 10 years ago. I wasn't playing music. He had me set in with him. He goes, why in the hell aren't you playing? Then I meet some guy named the King of Diamonds, Rob Garrett, the #1 Neil Diamond tribute artist in North America. And then I meet some guy named Frankie Shanta. Oh, I love him. Make a long story short, this last Toys for Tots, we sold out the Elvis showroom at the Westgate back in December. David Perico and Lon Bronson's 26-piece rock orchestra. I had America Got Talent musician Murray. I brought in Robbie Steinhardt, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame violinist, vocalist of the band Kansas, Carry On Wayward Son, Dust in the Wind, and his band, country rock, classic rock, comedians, musicians. Carolyn Goodman gives me a proclamation for what I've done. And when they got a hold of me, he said to fill this thing out, right away take a back seat, LJ. It's because of the Marines. It's because of Cadillac, why I get to do this. And that's what I type back. Not about LJ. That's something I learned too. When you're working for somebody, it's allowing you to live your passion. Timing is everything. I can walk in a room with all of you where there's television cameras, media, spotlights, and I want to make sure I got everybody's attention, but then knowing when to take a step back. Why we're all here. Why we're all here. It's for those veterans that are struggling. The abused women and children. Shade Tree. Tiffany and I have gone a couple times to Shade Tree. And what we take there, and the hugs that you get back from these women. Now, all they got is their kids and the clothes on their back. They're so appreciative. I always have more toys than I know what to do with after the Marines pick everything up. They keep bringing them in the showroom. Carolyn Goodman, because of the relationship I have with her, called me. It says, this can't be put out on the media, but there's a black church here in town that just got robbed of all their toys the congregation have been saving for all year. We thought of you. I took 2 Escalades full of toys to that church. I stayed an hour and a half. I'm in a prayer circle just rejoicing, and I'm thinking, I'm this guy that I would steal a toy to be able to change it for a piece of rock back in the day. East Valley Family Services is one of those charities that's helping people from being evicted to having their electricity turned off. Do you hear about the seniors that are eating dog food and cat food so they can afford the medication? That's what this other organization does. I met them. They have literally 5,000 seniors they try to feed every month. In the entertainment capital of the world. The glimmer, the lights. There's people starving right here in our town. We all see the homeless people. And the last thing I guess I can leave with you when I told you I was homeless. So I did this organization for the Forgotten Promise to help the homeless veterans of Clark County. Clark County is the number 3 largest population of retired military in the United States. It's also about the number 3 population of homeless veterans. So there's a flip side. So they came to me and said, we want to raise some sleeping bags. Okay. I got the Suncoast Hotel Casino to give me the showroom. I got a hold of Zoe Bowie and Rob Garrett, a couple of those. Now this is going back 6-7 years ago. I talked my general manager in. So we put on a show, we sold it out. The mission was new or slightly used sleeping bags. I didn't realize what I'd created. So for 3 weeks, bring in your sleeping bags to Cadillac, drop them off, get tickets to the show. I started some open mic night called the Tap House about 7 years ago on a Monday night. We asked people to bring them in. And then the night of the show, we raised over 5,000 sleeping bags in 3 weeks. On Thanksgiving morning, I had volunteers and I had employees asking, could we bring our kids to help you that day? And I wasn't thinking so much. I said, sure, yeah, why? Okay, no problem. Thanksgiving Day at Catholic Charity Missions, we had a semi. 5,000 sleeping bags, a lot of sleeping bags. We're handing out sleeping bags to just any homeless person that day. And seeing these employees, their kids standing there watching this, these are cool parents. They were wanting their children to see the value of the life they had right then. And quit complaining and be grateful for what you have. There was a lady probably in her mid-60s, and it was 40 degrees that Thanksgiving morning. She stood over here to the side. She had on a windbreaker. She had on some tennis shoes with no socks. And she wasn't crowding to get anything. And finally I saw her, I said, would you like a sleeping bag? She goes, no, I have one. But would you happen to have a sweater? Now, some people are bringing hosts of sweaters too. I saw she had on these polyester baggy pants. They were kind of tan. I remember seeing this gorgeous turtleneck cashmere sweater. We dug through the semi and found it. Gave it to her. She put it on right away. Her posture went like this to like this. Within 5 minutes, Vietnam vet walked up to me. He goes, excuse me, sir. I said, I'm LJ. He goes, okay, sir. Military. It's always sir. He goes, would you happen to have an extra sleeping bag? I made sure he got a brand new one, a really nice one. I still look in the corner of my eye. He's standing there with his new sleeping bag. He comes up and goes, sir, no disrespect, but would you happen to have maybe a camouflage sleeping bag? I remember we got a couple of them. We dug through and found it. I gave it to him. I said, can I ask you why you want a camouflaged one? He goes, when you're living out here on the streets, they steal everything from you. He says, I can hide that in a bush or a tree in the daytime. It took me right back when I was homeless. I was walking the streets, you know, and I mean, I remember going to a fast food place after 11 o'clock at night and waiting for them to dump the food out. When I started hanging around the churches, though, and the soup lines, all this is pretty cool. So you see me with the perfect hair, the suit, the smile. These are veneers. But I am that guy that when Fox News came into the Cadillac dealership and asked me, why do you do this for the homeless? And the cameras weren't rolling yet. And I said, well, what do you mean by a homeless person? And they go, well, you know, the ones you see down there with the signs and what have you. I said, so that's what you think of the homeless person? I said, well, you're looking at a guy that was homeless. And I started to say something else, she had the camera start rolling. They put that on the news that night. Now, I'm working for Cadillac. Oh my God. Here's some guy admitting he was homeless. Here's a guy that was addicted to cocaine. This is out there. Tells you about where you're working at. They gave me more support. Because they got a picture of my mugshot from 15 years ago in Muncie, Indiana. And the story was the then and now. And where I'm at today, now at the Stirling Club, I've met some new friends. He allowed me to talk, you know. I haven't shared a lot of this in a long time, but again, I'm grateful that I wake up every morning looking forward to go to my job. Misery is having a job you don't like. Misery is waking up and can't stand in that person's laying beside you. I have all the good of my life. Plus, guess what? Bear died a couple of years ago and it crushed us. But we went out and got another rescue dog named Angel. Because Bear sent Angel to us. And that damn little dog sleeps on the same pillow. I love you all. God bless you.
Definitely you are an inspiration to all of us because of your vast experience as a professional. You are the Cadillac of drummers. You're the Cadillac of storytelling. And you know,
I've got more.
Well, listen, we're going to have you back so that we learn more about you. And of course, we want you back at the Stirling Club to visit. And Tiffany, we have a few cancer survivors here. I am one of 51 years, and they don't know why I'm still walking.
Amen.
So listen, thank you so much.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much. Okay, listen.
Oh, LJ, I did want to thank you. I am a Vietnam vet, and what you do for the veterans touches my heart. So God bless you. Amen. Yeah.
Listen now, we've had such an incredible afternoon with this incredible talent. Just world-renowned talent to share his stories, to open up his heart. But he had great success. But again, you can tell in my introduction when I said that what he gives to the community is what he is the most proud of and what he is most well known for. So we want to remember this because we want to jump on board to support our veterans, our animals. We want to believe in the higher power because really and truly, that higher power helps us to believe in ourselves. Right on, yes, I do. Yes, indeed. Okay, now we've got just a little bit of time, and let's take about 40 seconds to stand up, each one, and say.
It's a quarter after now. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, okay. Well then, you know what? Because we are really running out of time. But I want you all to come back on March the 6th. I want to do just a couple more shout-outs. Iris Ayers was really the responsible party for booking LJ for our Stirling Club event today. I want to thank Iris, and I want to thank each and every one of you for coming, for being a part of, because without you, there's nothing. We want to inspire you, we want to motivate you, we want you to share what it is you do for a living. Because when you share, it helps to motivate others because you're out there, you're doing it, you're gaining new energy, you're bringing positive results. It doesn't matter what you're doing, who you are, how old you are, because that's only a number, obviously. But nonetheless, if you're looking for a speaker, you contact me at Bruce Merrin at the Bruce Merrin Celebrity Speakers Bureau. You're looking for PR to promote your business, again, you contact myself or Bruce Merrin. And we'll put together the very best packaging. Victoria's Secret, David Orla, Yvette, oh, my little Eugenie, Lynn, Jewel, Amy, Kardashian, Iris, Marilyn, Marie, everyone, one and all. You're loved, you're appreciated. come on back on March 6th because we've got a heck of a show for you. And again, LJ Harness, thank you from the bottom of my heart.